Consumer Reports is an American magazine published monthly by Consumers Union since 1936. It publishes reviews and comparisons of consumer products and services based on reporting and results from its in-house testing laboratory and survey research center. They accept no advertising, pay for all the products they test, and, as a not-for-profit organization, they have no shareholders. It also publishes cleaning and general buying guides. It has approximately 7.3 million subscribers and an annual testing budget of approximately $21 million. Editorial Independence. Consumer Reports is well known for its policies on editorial independence, which it says are to maintain our independence and impartiality, so that CU has no agenda other than the interests of consumers. CR has unusually strict requirements and sometimes has taken extraordinary steps. For example, it declined to renew a car dealership's bulk subscription because of the appearance of an impropriety. Consumer Reports does not allow outside advertising in the magazine, but its website has retailers' advertisements. Consumer Reports states that Price Grabber places the ads and pays a percentage of referral fees to CR, who has no direct relationship with the retailers. Consumer Reports publishes reviews of its business partner and recommends it in at least one case. CR had a similar relationship with BizRate at one time and has had relationships with other companies including Amazon.com, Yahoo!, The Wall Street Journal, The Washington Post, Bill Shrink, and Decide.com. CR also accepts grants from other organizations, and at least one high-ranking Consumer Reports employee has gone on to work for a company he evaluated. CR also forbids the use of its reviews for selling products. For example, it won't allow a manufacturer to advertise a positive review. CR has gone to court to enforce that rule. Consumer Reports says its staff purchases all tested products at retail prices, anonymously in most cases, and that they accept no free samples in order to prevent buyers from bribery or from being given better-than-average samples. However, in order to review some products before they are publicly available, CR does accept press samples from manufacturers but says pays for the samples and does not include them in ratings. For most of CR's history, it minimized contact with government and industry experts to avoid compromising the independence of its judgment. In 2007, in response to errors in infant car seat testing, it began accepting advice from a wide range of experts on designing tests, but not on final assessments. Also, at times CR allows manufacturers to review and respond to criticism before publication. Some objective and comparative tests published by Consumer Reports are carried out under the umbrella of the International Consumer Organization International Consumer Research and Testing. Consumer Reports also uses outside labs for testing, including for 11% of tests in 2006. Ancillary publications. ConsumerReports.org, the related website, claims more paid subscribers than any other publication-based website. Most of its information is available only to paid subscribers. ConsumerReports.org provides updates on product availability, and adds new products to previously published test results. In addition, the online data includes coverage that is not published in the magazine. For example, vehicle reliability tables online extend over the full 10 model years reported in the annual questionnaires, whereas the magazine has only a 6-year history of each model. In 1990, Consumers Union launched Consumer Reports Television. By March 2005 it was hosted by over 100 stations. On August 1, 2006 Consumers Union launched Shop Smart, a magazine aimed at young women. In 2008, Consumers Union acquired the consumerist blog from Gawker Media. Magazine copies distributed in Canada include a small 4-page supplement called Canada Extra, explaining how the magazine's findings apply to that country and lists the examined items available there. In 2002, Consumers Union launched the grant-funded Project Consumer Reports Web Watch, which aimed to improve the credibility of websites through investigative reporting, publicizing best practices standards, and publishing a list of sites that comply with the standards. WebWatch worked with the Stanford Web Credibility Project, Harvard University's Berkman Center, the Annenberg School of Communications at the University of Pennsylvania, and others. WebWatch is a member of ICANN, the W3C and the Internet Society. Its content is free. As of July 31, 2009, WebWatch has been shut down, though the site is still available. Consumer Reports Best Buy Drugs is available free on consumerreportshealth.org. It compares prescription drugs in over 20 major categories, such as heart disease, blood pressure and diabetes, and gives comparative ratings of effectiveness and costs, in reports and tables, in web pages and PDF documents, in summary and detailed form. Also in 2005, Consumers Union launched the service Greener Choices, which is meant to inform, engage, and empower consumers about environmentally friendly products and practices. It contains information about conservation, electronics recycling and conservation with the goal of providing an accessible, reliable, and practical source of information on buying a greener products that have minimal environmental impact and meet personal needs. Consumers Union published a kids version of Consumer Reports called Penny Power, later changed to Zillions. This publication was similar to Consumer Reports but served a younger audience. It gave children financial advice for budgeting their allowances and saving for a big purchase, reviewed kid-oriented consumer products, and generally promoted smart consumerism in kids and teens. Testing of products came from kids of the age range a product was targeted toward. History: see also the history of Consumers Union. As of 2007, 4.3 million people read the magazine, and 2.8 million people subscribe to the website. Product changes after Consumer Reports tests. In the July 1978 issue, Consumer Reports rated the Dodge Omni Plymouth Horizon automobile not acceptable, the first car it had judged such since the AMC Ambassador in 1968. In its testing they found the possibility of these models developing an oscillatory yaw as a result of a sudden violent input to the steering. The manufacturer claimed that some do, some don't show this behavior, but it has no validity in the real world of driving. Nevertheless, the next year, these models included a lighter-weight steering wheel rim and a steering damper. Consumer Reports reported that the previous instability was no longer present. In a 2003 issue of CR, the magazine tested the Nissan Murano crossover utility vehicle. Consumer Reports did not recommend the vehicle because of a problem with its power steering, even though the vehicle had above-average reliability. The specific problem was that the steering would stiffen substantially on hard turning. Consumer Reports recommended the 2005 model, which addressed this problem. BMW changed the software for the stability control in its X5 SUV after replicating a potential rollover problem discovered during a Consumer Reports test. Chrysler also made changes to stability control software when Consumer Reports testing with the 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee exposed handling issues. In 2010, Consumer Reports rated the 2010 Lexus GX 460 SUV unsafe after the vehicle failed one of the magazine's emergency safety tests. Toyota temporarily suspended sales of the vehicle, and after conducting its own test acknowledged the problem. A recall for the vehicle was issued, and the vehicle passed a Consumer Reports retest. Lawsuits against Consumers Union. Consumers Union has been sued several times by companies unhappy with reviews of their products in Consumer Reports. Consumers Union has fought these cases vigorously. As of October 2000, Consumers Union had been sued by 13 manufacturers, and never lost a case. Bose. In 1971, Bose Corporation sued Consumer Reports magazine for libel after Sear reported in a review that the sound from the system it reviewed tended to wander about the room. The case eventually reached a United States Supreme Court, which found in Bose Corporation v. Consumers Union of United States, Incorporated, that Sear's statement was made without actual malice and therefore was not libelous. Suzuki. In 1988, Consumer Reports announced during a press conference that the Suzuki Samurai had demonstrated a tendency to roll and deemed it not acceptable. Suzuki sued in 1996 after the Samurai was again mentioned in a Sear anniversary issue. In July 2004, After 8 years in court, the suit was settled and dismissed with no money changing hands and no retraction issued, but Consumers Union did agree no longer to refer to the 16-year-old test results of the 1988 Samurai in its advertising or promotional materials. Rivera Isuzu. In December 1997, the Isuzu Trooper distributor in Puerto Rico sued CR, alleging that it had lost sales as a result of CU's disparagement of the Trooper. A trial court granted CU's motion for summary judgment, and the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit affirmed the favorable judgment. Sharper Image. In 2003, Sharper Image sued CR in California for product disparagement over negative reviews of its Ionic Breeze Quadra air purifier. CR moved for dismissal on October 31, 2003, and the case was dismissed in November 2004. The decision also awarded CU $525,000 in legal fees and costs. Controversy over child safety seats. The February 2007 issue of Consumer Reports stated that only 2 of the child safety seats it tested for that issue passed the magazine's side impact tests. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which subsequently retested the seats, found that all those seats passed the corresponding NHTSA tests at the speeds described in the magazine report. The Creek article reported that the tests simulated the effects of collisions at 38.5 mph. However, the tests that were completed in fact simulated collisions at 70 mph. CR stated in a letter from its president Jim Guest to its subscribers that it would retest the seats. The article was removed from the CR website, and on January 18, 2007 the organization posted a note on its homepage about the misleading tests. Subscribers were also sent a postcard apologizing for the error. On January 28, 2007, the New York Times published an op-ed from Joan Claybrook, who served on the board of CU from 1982 to 2006, where she discussed the sequence of events leading to the publishing of the erroneous information. Other errors or issues. In 2006, Consumer Reports said 6 hybrid vehicles would probably not save owners money. The magazine later discovered that it had miscalculated depreciation, and released an update stating that 4 of the 7 vehicles would save the buyer money if the vehicles were kept for 5 years. In February 1998, the magazine tested pet food and claimed that EAM's dog food was nutritionally deficient. It later retracted the report claiming that there had been a systemic error in the measurements of various minerals we tested: potassium, calcium and magnesium. Graphs. Consumer Reports graphs use a modified form of Harvey balls for qualitative comparison. See also, Good Housekeeping Institute, Stiff Tongue Rentist, Underwriters Laboratories, which. Consumer Protection, Consumer Education, Pro-Consumer WOM, References. External links, official site.